It's 2 days to Christmas, everyone. Compliments of the season, and thank you for joining us on the program. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. I hope you're planning to show love to someone this season, and you're not using the economy as an excuse. Well, our attention today is turned to the Nigeria Police Force and how they fared in the outgoing year. Recall that the new Inspector General of Police took over this year, and he vowed to rid the system of corruption, abuse of power, and take necessary action against any form of misconduct from personnel of the police force. So how far has he gone to fulfill these promises? Or are we in the early days, and is it too early to ask those questions? Particularly when you hear Nigeria Police, what comes to mind? Join the conversation right now on X, formerly Twitter, using the hashtag this morning. Remember to tag at TVC News NJ and at Nifemi Oguntoye. I'm joined by the Force PRO, who joins me live from our Abuja studio for this conversation. Good morning, ACP Muyiwa Adejobi.
Good morning, Femi. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Africans.
Thank you so much for joining us. So we had IGP Egbetokun recently give a scorecard of what the police has achieved in a few weeks under his leadership. And he seems to have scored himself very high. He did say that the police recorded significant success in reducing crime rates. Let's begin with the unique strategies you think this new administration or this new leadership is bringing to the force, different from what we've seen before.
Well, you know, the IGP came on board on 19th of June, 2023. And since he became the Inspector General of Police, the Nigerian Police Force has been so lucky to have him as a leader. And I think many Nigerians know by now that the IGP has his PhD in peace and security studies. And of course, he has been bringing up all his ideas in this field to assist the Nigerian Police Force. The IGP has launched many applications in his bid to embrace ICT or electronic policing in Nigeria. And some of these strategies being in place have been paying off because they still continue to pay off. And we want to put it on record that so far, so good that the IGP came on board. We have recorded a lot of achievements. And these strategies are not static. Everything that is constant, the only thing that is constant in life is change, and it's inevitable. For a very serious leader, you must always evaluate or assess your strategies for you to be in tandem with current happenings. Crimes are not static, crimes are dynamics, and even criminals are dynamic. So you must be dynamic in your dealings, you must be dynamic in your critical thinking, and your ability to marshal points and ideas, innovations to do your job the way it should be done. More so that we're talking of policing. It's a very serious business. Police is a very serious business. So we, on a daily basis, we review all our activities, we review our strategies to be in tandem with current happenings. So the introduction of applications, apps on our phones, on our ICT platforms are working good for us. And these are welcome development that I think many Nigerians too can testify to this. The introduction of our Rescue Me app application, introduction of the Nigeria Police VGC, that is Emergency Reporting and Response System, and coupled with the application of certain apps like CMR and the likes, introduction of forensic investigation to the police, partnership in all areas with all our stakeholders, particularly the agenda of community policing that we take more serious now. The IGP is being community policing more serious than what we used to have. Like, you just say a lot of lip service that we want community policing, we want community policing. His own community policing, it goes beyond just saying we want community policing and we have groups. We want all Nigerians to be involved in policing structure, in policing system in Nigeria. And I think these are being driven by the vision statement of the Inspector General of Police that's very, very key. He wants to place a police institution that is professionally competent. He wants to place a police institution that is rule of law compliant. that is service-driven and people-friendly. If you want to achieve all these, you must change your strategies. You must be in tandem with current happenings to carry everybody along, the youths, all strata of our society must be carried along if at all you want to achieve this vision statement.
Right.
And this is what the IGP is doing. And these are the guiding principles that are helping the IGP and other members, senior management members of the Nigerian police force, working together to make sure that this vision statement is achieved.
You mentioned the CMR Information Service. I think that's the Central Motor Registry that we saw launched earlier this year. Talk to us about how much compliance you've recorded with this portal since it was launched, I think, in April, right?
Yes. Well, the CMR is not a new thing in the police. The CMR and the ability of the police to make use of CMR applications has been clearly stated in the Nigeria Traffic Act, Road Traffic Act of 1958. So this act has been on, and the act has been reviewed by the transport system in all the states, in other places, particularly to checkmate the vehicle-related crimes. All vehicles in Nigeria must be duly registered. You agree with me that most of our vehicles now are not registered? Even those who register their vehicles still cover their number plates. A very funny thing is somebody who has spent money to even register customized number plates. We still cover the number plates. I think the rationale behind registering a customized number is to have your ego, to boost your ego, to be known to people, and to have your social status recognized. Yet you still go ahead to cover this. We know and we are convinced that by the time we tackle vehicle-related crimes in this country, we're almost 80% successful in combating crimes and criminality. So the CCMR is coming not as a new project. We only added the E to make it electronic Central Motor Registry. Every vehicle must possess this, and that's why the police is working with Customs this time around. For the first time, we are signing an MOU with Nigerian Customs Service to make sure that we have access to the database of all the vehicles imported to Nigeria. We are sharing information with all our relevant security agencies, including Federal Road Safety Corps, so that we'll be able to make sure that every vehicle that is registered in Nigeria is on our database. If you commit an offense with your vehicle, you can be easily traced. Another thing is that this system will help Nigerians to be able to trace any stolen vehicle. If a vehicle is stolen, just make sure you visit report CMR at npf.gov.ng. It's going to help you to make sure that these vehicles are traced on time, and our ability to recover these vehicles on time is going to be very, very perfect.
All right.
So we want Nigerians to know that some of these applications, some of these ideas, and some of these things that we put together to embrace electronic policing are very, very good for us. And all these things are paid off. So far, so good. On the platform of CMR, we have recovered nothing less than 3,000 vehicles. And almost 7 vehicles have been reported stolen. So we want to go from manual way of doing things, from analog way of doing things in the police, to digital ways of doing so many things in the police, and which, of course, I am sure
that's the way to go.
This will be very better for us in Nigeria.
ACP. Primarily, the police faces a challenge with its image among the citizenry, and one of the biggest challenges in this regard, if you agree with me, is bribery and extortion on the highway. I'm wondering, why do you think these has persisted over the years, even with the many outcries against it and the number of reforms you talked about earlier?
Well, like I said earlier today at a program, that it takes two to tango. In most cases, it's called that bribery is almost as eaten deep into our system in the country. And that's why you see the federal government has taken the bull by the horn to do all things possible to stop bribery and to kill corruption in our country. Most of our men that you see on the road that have been alleged of taking bribes from Nigerians, most of them are always encouraged to do so. We have said it on several occasions that you don't offer bribes to policemen that is discharging his duty. And for no reason should you offering a bribe to somebody on duty is even a criminal offense. And it's high time we started taking these things serious. we started thinking outside the box to make sure we have a perfect system in the country. We are not generating, police will not be generating for revenue into his own pocket. If at all there is need for you to even pay for any services rendered by Nigerian Police Force, it goes to a central port. Nigeria operates TSA, Tingle accounts, Tingle treasury accounts, TSA, so that we will be able to monitor what they want to do. And that's why the federal government has established TSA for all of us in Nigeria. If at all there's need for you to pay for services rendered by anybody, it must be official. I have urged Nigerians to always tackle our men. Some of them are deviant and want to go out of their ways, who are not professional enough, who are not into our ethical consideration of our jobs and engagements, to report all what they do to us. When a policeman is demanding for money to do anything from you, you too, you ask for receipts. If that man cannot give you any receipts, cannot issue out any receipt to you for any payment you have made as a Nigerian, please do not pay. For those who collect money on the road, we have said on several occasions that if a policeman is demanding for money on the road, you need to ask certain questions. In as much as we are not encouraging you to take up a fight with any armed policeman, but we can be civil about it and ask certain questions that will make us, that will liberate ourselves from the hands of some of these men who are out there and denting the image of the force. We kick against corruption, we kick against bribery, and IGP has made it clear. Don't drop IGP's name. One of them on the road will tell you we are making money and Oga at the top. Oga in Abuja is taking his own share. Nobody is taking share from anybody. IGP has said it clearly. Don't bring grief to me, to the commissioners of police and the AIGs. Don't bring any money to me.
I hear you very clearly, AC.
I have what it takes to do my work.
But you agree that there is what is said, there is what is in the law, but there is what we see, and that's baffling. The rate at which policemen ask for money is worrisome. Just recently, we heard that the policemen who attempted to extort a Dutch tourist in Oyo State were dismissed by the police. Quickly talk to us. Is that the standard punishment for highway extortion, dismissal from force?
Well, let me clarify one thing. Those men you see on police uniform, black, they are not police personnel. They are constabulary police. They are called police constabularies. These constabularies were those that, with the help of state governments, were employed to help various communities, but they are placed under the supervision of their various respective divisional police officers. So those ones captured in that viral video demanding money from the Dutch rider, they were not police personnel per se. They are constabularies. And that's why, however, they are still under supervision of the police, and that's why the Oyo State Police Command, CP Amzat, took that step yesterday. They had been in detention since the incident occurred, and they have passed through the on the room disciplinary procedure of the police. And the end product of it was what you experienced yesterday in the news, that the men were dismissed. That the implication of that is they cease to be constabularies, they cease to be affiliated to the Nigerian Police Force in any way. They must have been handed over back to their local government chairman or state government.
Let me jump in. Are you saying that the penalty would have been different if they were policemen and not constabularies?
It is possible. It is possible because we expect every policeman who has been duly trained, who has attained such a position, such a rank on the field, to know the right thing to do. That you should know this Dutch woman was just a cruiser, just a rider who was on expedition to Nigeria to catch cruise and to enjoy herself. And for you to be demanding for money from such a person is quite unfortunate. It's embarrassing not only to the police, to the Nigerian government, and to our dear nation at large. If they were to be police personnel, I am sure it wouldn't be like that. It won't go far like that. You could see it got to a stage that even for them to identify the navigator on the screen of the bike, it's difficult for them to navigate to identify a navigator. But the policeman, of course, will know that is a navigator.
That if they were policemen, they wouldn't have asked for money, because that's the point I was driving at. That the issue of policemen asking. is actually rife, and
I am not ruling out the fact.
I'm actually concerned if you think the force has been able to identify the root causes, to identify what the challenges are, because there are people who will tell you from experience that policemen that don't collect money are the exception, given how prevalent this issue is on Nigerian roads.
Well, I am not ruling out the fact that even if they are real bona fide police personnel, they couldn't have done that. It's possible. We have people like that. And don't forget, if you can recollect that apart from this case, you have experienced certain incidences where our officers and men are hurt and they misbehaved have been alleged for corruption, extortion, high-handedness and the likes. We have dealt with some of these cases, and those, as I speak with you, we see how many pending cases are on. Nigerians have been so free with Nigeria Police Force at this time around. They have direct access to us, and we receive complaints on a regular basis. Today alone on our complaint portal, we have received almost 100 complaints, just this morning alone. And we attend to all these cases. So personally, you see some of my uploads on social media that IGP has been attending to these cases personally. He listens to them, he interviews parties personally. So with what we are doing so far in the police, there's no room to tolerate any high-handedness or any unprofessional misconduct in the police. These men you have seen in the video, I'm not saying because they are constabularies, that's why they have done so. It's not unlikely that we see some of our men that will still do the same. That doesn't mean it is not possible. It is possible, but the major thing is, are we checkmating the essence of these men? Are we actually punishing them for whatever wrong thing they have done? And the answer is capital yes. The police takes a lead. When you talk of agencies, ministry, department, and agencies in Nigeria that take issues serious, Nigeria Police Force take a lead in exposing its men.
Some have identified the welfare of police personnel. Is that still an issue? Why you think policemen would depend on what they collect from motorists to survive? I'm asking about the welfare of police personnel. Do you think that is still an issue? Because some would say perhaps they are not well paid. That's why they would, largely depend on what they collect from motorists on the highway.
Well, I know that the payment, the salary is not enough. It is not a news anymore that the police in Nigeria have not been adequately paid. Our take-home pay cannot take us home, the way as we always say. But the fact is, that doesn't mean that our men will now throw caution into the winds and continue to stab from left and right with their left and right and everything to gather money from Nigerians. Doing this on the road is embarrassing to us as a police institution, embarrassing to us as a nation, even embarrassing to the individuals that are concerned. They should know that the federal government is working hard, assiduously well, to make sure that they increase or they improve remuneration of police officers and all other government agents. So they should not they have this belief that if they tap from everybody is going to bless it. The blessing comes from God. We have seen those who have never collected bribe in their lives in the police history, and they are okay, they are doing well. Like my IGP always said that, and it's time to be quoted or corrected. He has never collected bribe in his career as an officer, and up till now, to the position of the Inspector General of Police. And we have many like that are we can say it proudly, that they have not collected bribe. So I don't want to subscribe to the fact that because the salary is not enough, that's why some of them are corrupt and some of them go for bribes and engage themselves in corrupt practices. No, it's a personal thing. For you to be decent is personal. For you to be neat is personal. For you to have the fear of God and do your job judiciously the way you should do your job is a personal thing. And that's why we say we have individual differences when it comes to issues like this. So I don't want to subscribe to that, and I know many Nigerians will not subscribe to that because the salary is not okay. That's why they engage in all these criminal acts and shameful acts of extorting Nigerians of their hard-earned incomes and what they feel on the road.
All right.
It is not so.
So there's a thin line between...
I'm not having any belief in that.
There's a thin line between asking for help and extortion. So I'm going to play out a scenario for you and ask you what you think the average Nigerian should do. You're driving, a policeman stops you, greets you quite politely and says, you know what, give me something, maybe buy me a drink or something. And then he does it with a smile on his face. What do you expect the Nigerian to do in that situation?
Well, it's a very, very, very funny thing. It's not part of our system. In as much I support Nigerians appreciating our men. When they do good, we want to appreciate them, you can appreciate them. But we just need to follow that due process of appreciating our officers and men. Giving them something on the road is not helping them. You can identify them at a point, you know them individually or as a group, and then you send something to their DPOs, area commanders, or CPs. Even at the headquarters level, you can send something to them. We have coordinated some of these motivational gifts from Nigerians. There's nothing wrong if you want to appreciate our men. But giving them something on the road is going to cause distraction. It may even lead to problem for them, because if monitoring comes around and they see something on them, they can arrest them, they will think it's extortion. So I think we can do better in this area. We can always identify them, commend them at that point, and pass good and complimentary comments on them at that point. Take their identity or the number or the office or the address, then you can go and give things to them. We always discourage our men from even taking consumable items on the road. It could be dangerous. It could be counterproductive. So we don't encourage people giving gifts to our officers at various points or duty. It is not too palatable. It's not too okay. We encourage people to identify them, go to their offices, follow that due process, and donate whatever you want to donate to them. Because that could be tantamount to, again, to corruption if any senior man comes around or a team comes around to check them, and that team sees some money on them or what have you, they may arrest them and subject them to Olerum trial. And you might not be there to defend them, that it's just a token from me to appreciate what they do. So if you have anything to give to our men, let's follow due process, not to be giving this to them at their points. Follow the process, give to their commander, to their UCs, to the head of that place, to give to them. We want Nigerians to appreciate our men. All right. We want them to encourage these men, because it's not easy. But let us follow the process in doing this. First
PRO, ACP Muyiwa Adejobi is our guest on the show today. We're going to take a short break, ACP, and we'll be back with this conversation. Stay with us, everyone. And thanks for staying with us, everyone. We're back discussing policing in 2023, and the Force PRO is right here with us live in our Abuja studio. A few questions, ACP, before we open the phone lines and get some reaction from the viewers. When you say Nigerians can take video and pictures of policemen on duty, are the policemen also aware of this?
Yes, they are aware. Even they have their own liberty too. They are at their liberty too to even video certain happenings in their various points.
So we
are projecting, yes, we are projecting to have even body camera for them. IGP is considering how to approach the government to get body camera for them. There is no big deal about this issue. I've seen comments of people. In fact, there was a lawyer that was attacking me for saying Nigerians have the right to video or picture policemen. If it were to be a system, a community that is CCTV controlled, are you going to have camera because policemen are on operations? No, there's nothing wrong about it. Do you know the number of people that videoed me today? When IGP has a function as IGP, the whole IGP at times, people will video and take his picture without his consent. Is it an offense? How many have you arrested? So it is not an issue that we should be taking and dragging it or as if it's a special thing. Nigerians can video me. If I'm doing the right thing, why will I say people should not video me? Why, when we have a point, our men at various points, when they video them, there are places where you can't video them, and I'm sure even you two will not near to video them. If you're on serious operations that warrant firing, you can't be close to them to video them, for goodness sake. But where they are doing their normal check, routine patrol, if you see police want to video police, fine. I'm not against that. I have been on the field before as an operational man, as a patrol and guard officer. People have been videoing people, and even as a PRO, if I'm doing a bad thing, am I going to tell Nigerians, please don't video me, I'm the first PRO? No. In other words, Every policeman must be a good ambassador. You must be a good PR person, so that whatever you do can be videoed and recorded at any time. Whether we say it or not, Nife, Nigerians know that they can video them and upload. So you don't even need to say it, whether you like it or not. We practice citizen journalism in Nigeria.
When a gun-wielding policeman, out of anger, asks you to put down your phone, then common sense tells you what to do at that point. But let's open the phone lines. Reverend Dominic has called in from Alimosho. Good morning, Reverend. Compliments of the season to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. And good morning to Police PRO. I want to make this comment. Yeah. Thank you. Can I go on?
Go ahead, please.
Please, I hope he's listening to me.
Yes, it
There's
is.
this scenario that I witness every day on my way going to my house. When police stop me, maybe at night, I will open up my light. They will pass me quickly. But the same car I'm using, a young man, maybe 20 to 30, they will stop them. What is the reason of passing me? Because maybe I'm above 50. And the claim of the young man that having a car, the same car driving, they stop them. And most of the time, they quarrel with these boys. What is the quarreling? Telling them to open their phones. I'm asking police PRO, does crime show in the face and age, and in the age and face? And what is the police act or police authority doing by policemen stopping young men on the road, forcing them to open their phone when they have not been committed any crime? And I try to see them fighting with them just to open their phones right on the road. I want to plead to police officers. Crime is not in age and in the face. Everybody can commit a crime. And again, for you to stop a man or a young boy to ask him to open his phone, I don't think it's right anywhere. Please let him brief his men that crime is not the age and they don't have right to open young boy's phone on the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend, for the contribution. SCP, you want to react to that quickly?
Yes, let me quickly react to that. You agree with us that for a very long time, we have been making statements, official statements, as regards the issue of checking on people's phone and profiling young Nigerians. It's not proper. It's not professional. The fact that I'm a young man, or I look young, or I have dreadlock on my head, or I use a ring as a man, that people will just jump to the conclusion that I'm a criminal. It is not proper. It's not ideal in any normal society. And I'm sure you agree with me that even we dismiss a policeman in Lagos for checking somebody's phone. Go back to record, you are going to see that. The police has dismissed somebody for that. So it is not a proper thing. It's not good. Profiling young people on the road is not proper. Checking people's phone is not proper. It's condemned. It's even out of it. If you want to check somebody's phone, that phone must have been subject of investigation, must have been marked an exhibit. That phone must have been marked exhibit or that laptop before you can have direct access to profile or to check such a phone or such a computer system. But to stand on the road, collect somebody's phone or laptop and be searching is unprofessional, is criminal, and we condemn it in totality. So we have been telling Nigerians to report these cases to us, and people have been reporting cases to us. So I'm sure, go through our platforms, our social media platforms, you can get some of these cases we have treated professionally. People have been dealt with. We don't condone it. We don't support it. I'm seeing this opportunity again to tell our men, stop profiling Nigerians. Every Nigerian has the right to dress the way he wants and dress the way he wants or go the way he wants to go. And stop checking people's phone. It is criminal because we are caught. We are going to face the full wrath of the law. Simple.
Quickly, let's talk about the issue of one chance in Abuja. We've reported lots of sad stories in the course of the year. The FCT, has the headquarters of most of the security forces and agencies in the country. How did it get that worse?
One chance. I think the origin started from where you are there, Nifemi. That is Lagos. I think one chance started in Lagos and spread over to Abuja and some other places. But it's growing in Abuja for many reasons. Abuja is turning to Lagos because everybody wants to live in Abuja as well, the way they want to live in Lagos. Abuja is coming up, and more so now that the government is trying to upgrade the system in Abuja, it is becoming a better place to stay. By and large, we are aware that we have some cases of one chance. And meanwhile, one chance is different from kidnapping. One chance is a process where you enter the vehicle and they don't even take you to anywhere. They finish all transactions in that vehicle within a twinkle of an eye, and it's one chance. But I want to say this, that I don't want us to blame law enforcement agencies much for this. We have told our people that every state has accredited and registered parks and garages. They have marked commercial vehicles that are basically designated for these intercity or intracity movement people. But the people these days, they just stay by the roadside, they look for lifts, they look for free rides, and some of them that even want to pay. They don't care about these vehicles, whether it's a marked vehicle or not, whether it's boat or whatever and what have you. So in most cases, our people always take things for granted, and it's not helping us in any way. For the case of one chance, you see a lady flag down a vehicle, and when you stop this vehicle, you see almost 5, 6 young men in the vehicle. Apparently, you are the only lady that want to join them.
I get your point, ACP. Please hold that thought for a minute. Let's take Wujat's call from Jos. Good morning, Wujat.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
Yeah, my own is simple. As regards the filming of police officers, my point is this. I've seen where a friend was attempting to video cover a police officer, and the police officer collected the phone and smashed it on the ground. That's one. Secondly, please, besides opening our booths and what have you, does the police officer have the right during checkpoints to ask us for our driver's license and particulars? Because this is what they do all the time. They don't even bother about opening your boot. They just ask you, bring your particulars, bring your driver's license. So where are we on that, please?
Thank you, Wujat, for your contribution. ACP, let's talk about that quickly.
Yes. The policeman has the right to ask you for whatever he wants to ask you for at a point. In as much the law of the land permits them to do stop and search, to do patrol, and carry out anti-crime engagement or activities to curb crimes and criminality in Nigeria. Checking for your papers is not out of point. They have the right to demand for anything. Don't forget the police has the right the police empowered to apprehend all offenders, and we have all units. So it's not the job of the Federal Road Safety Corps alone or any state-owned traffic management agency that can demand for all these things. The police has the right to demand for your driver's license. They have the right to demand for your documents or whatever they want to demand for from you. Your job as a citizen of this country is to oblige, attend to them, be courteous, and respond to whatever question they ask you. The only thing is all this must be done and carried out devoid of extortion or harassment or intimidation. That's why we say when a policeman at a point is becoming so tough for you and is going out of his bands, we should be able to demarcate it, enforcing the law and going out of your bands. By the time he's going out of his bands, you put cross across for us. Our numbers are there. You know how to get. I'm not saying you should engage that handman in any hot argument or any physical combat. We have seen cases where somebody will lock policeman on uniform, despite the fact he's armed. This is suicidal, for goodness sake.
No,
don't let us do this.
I think that speaks more to common sense, ACP.
Talk to us, and we can handle that.
Let's take Yakub's call from Dokwemo. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Ifemi.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead with the contribution.
Yeah, and then good morning to your guys. My question is simple. I just want to know this, or let's say I want to confirm. As last caller rightly says, my own is that does citizens, let me use myself as an example. I personally, if police officers stop me on the road and try to start my car or check my boat and do some other thing, do I have right to take the picture or to take the video? Or do I have right to take the video of a police officer that is doing job in my area? Because I've encountered that sometimes ago. They came to our area, but I found out that the job that they're doing, it is not all going well with me. And then I'm trying to video them. One of them approached me. Why do you take my video? Why do you do that? I said, okay, with due respect. If you knew that you are doing the right thing, you are a police. I'm trying to be corrected, sir. I told him that day that if you know that you are doing the right thing, I don't think that you'll be afraid of me taking your picture or taking the video. So you know,
I think you joined the conversation late, Yakubu. The ACP already mentioned that you really are in your right to take a picture or video of policemen at work. Am I right, ACP?
Yes, you are very right. Like I said, there's nothing wrong about it. For instance, me as a person, I stopped somebody for breaking traffic light one day in Abuja here, even as the first PPRO, for breaking that traffic light. I stopped, and they started videoing me. Inasmuch, there's no law that says I cannot stop you for violating a traffic offense. I'm not slapping you. I'm not abusing you. I am not beating you. Even I use his own video recording to defend my actions and charge him to court. So if a policeman is doing the right thing, I don't know the fears that we're going to nurture that you should not video me or record me. I use my own case as a case study in Abuja here, FCTA, just close to the Federal Ministry of Finance there, that they broke that traffic light. I parked, I brought the person. He didn't want to stop. I forcefully stopped the person. And behold, the lady in front of the vehicle started videoing me. I said, please go ahead. I even told her my name. My name is Muyiwa Adejobi. I'm so person. You're under arrest for doing this. I got the video. They even shared the video. I used the video to nail them as a credible evidence to prosecute them. So why the fears?
I hear your point clearly, ACP.
A policeman should not be afraid of videoing you when you are doing the right thing.
I want you to answer this, because of our time. What are you doing about the cases of kidnapping on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, particularly during this festive period?
Well, I know that matter has been addressed before now, and it is not rampant on that road again, except a particular case that is not even noticeable, whether it's kidnapping or not kidnapping, to the best of my knowledge. Because, you have to assess every complaint reported. In most cases, when somebody says kidnapping, we need to get it right, that is it actually kidnapping or what? On Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has been safe. You agree with me that when you play that road, you see some of our men, policemen, and the Amotekun team that have been positioned along that road. Oyo State government has taken it serious. The same thing along Ibadan-Ijebu Axis. And some of the highways now, as we speak, we have done operation in order to take charge or to take care of some of these highways across the country. Abuja-Kaduna Road 2 is taken care of. Even the Ogun State towards Benin, up to the south part of Nigeria, you are going to see them along this road. So it's not rampant. And I can assure you that our deployment has been so fantastic to take care of all this. But our people should know, let us avoid night trips. When it is late, don't continue that journey. You can stay anywhere to have your night rest and continue your journey the following day.
Are you saying that policing doesn't take place at night, the ACP?
It takes place at night. We have men at night, but police cannot be everywhere. And for your own safety as a driver, those who are drivers who agree with me that it's better for you to drive during the day than to drive at night, because I can see as far as 10 kilometers during the day, but it's not possible at night.
I get your point.
In most cases, your headlamp will disappoint you.
Okorafor has called in
for us normally to avoid night trips.
Good morning, Mazi. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Good morning.
Yeah, please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, what I want us to look at this issue now, see, every Monday in the southeast, part of south, sit at home on Monday. So there is need for the federal government to draw the attention of the governors and honorable members from those areas, especially southeast. So let's say eastern Nigeria, south, and southeast. That Monday is Christmas. We celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, the whole world. Now, southeast have been sitting at home, no movement on Monday.
Hold on, Mazi. Are you saying that the Southeast still observe the sit-at-home on Mondays?
I'm telling you now, ask anybody now, part of the Southeast, they still observe it. Part of the South, they still observe it. So they should make sure that all the eastern states, they should allow people to go. Sure, that nonsense should stop. Because as far as I'm concerned, that sit-at-home is nonsense. Because people are afraid to come out on Mondays, my brother. The federal government has to draw the attention of the governors, National Assembly, because it is very, very disheartening that the whole world will be celebrating. The people will be afraid of coming out on Monday because
On Monday, like in Arujuku, which is Christmas Day. Christmas Day in Arujuku, all the Catholic church in Arujuku, they do harvest and Thanksgiving. Now tell me, a situation whereby this issue of nonsensical nonsense of it at home still going on, how will it be? People are still afraid. So government should find the answer. And this is what my brother says. I don't know what transporters used to do. It's very, very good. Very, very bad. Some transporters will know that their motor is not good. They will come and refurbish some and just push the motor on the road. They will carry passengers from point A. You will not even reach halfway of the journey. The car will park or the bus, especially the buses.
Indeed.
There are abandoned people there. So many people, normal space, Christmas on the road, which is not healthy. So the authority concerned, whether police or road safety or with any agency that is also, should find out what is happening because.
Thank you, Mazi, for your contribution. ACP, are you aware that sit at home still takes place in some places in the southeast?
Well, I am not aware of that, but I know they say it and I read it in the news the way people read in the news. I follow people on social media, I read. But let me say that matter goes beyond just mere discussion on this platform, Nifemi. I'm sure the others from the southeast, it's only southeast. I have not heard of anything from the south-south. And the issue of secessionist agenda of separating and breaking Nigeria and the likes should not come up at this point in time in Nigeria. We have a formidable force to say we want a nation that's going to be our pride, our common heritage. And even the elders, our forefathers, will not support the issue of causing problems and causing problems all the time. We have been, most of our projects or programs we have done in the Southeast were done on a Monday, and we have noticed that economic activities are always on. But by and large, I don't want to dispute the fact that maybe in some areas they want to observe. But the fact is, our leaders, our rulers in those places, they should help us to know how to provide solution to this problem. I don't know the rationale behind the issue of I'm angry with the federal government, I want a separate nation, and I'm killing my kinsmen. All those unknown gunmen, are they actually unknown? They live in some places, they marry somewhere, they do parties, they do ceremonies, and we still keep on calling them unknown gunmen. Are they actually unknown? And the fact is that, what is the rationale? I want people to let us sit down and assess it. The rationale behind me, I'm angry with the federal government in Abuja, or federal government of Nigeria, and I'm killing my kinsmen. We have seen cases where the same people from the same family, kinsmen, brothers and sisters from the same compound, killing one another.
I get your point very quick.
So I don't know.
We have to go now.
Yes, I don't know why we are going to juxtapose. We are going to juxtapose that and define whether we actually have any security in that side, or we have embraced foreign ideologies that are inimical to our coexistence as a nation, as a family in Nigeria. This must be holistically addressed. It goes beyond the issue of why First PPRO discussing on the platform here. And I'm sure our leaders know what I'm saying, for those who are familiar with this problem in the Southeast.
Perhaps we have to get you 2 hours the next time you come, because it's hard to even butt in where you're talking. But if you can, in 1 minute, because we have to go now, let's talk about the police projection, particularly in the area of manpower in the new year. The IGP was quoted to have said that officers now do the work, that an officer does the work of 2 persons. Is there a clear-cut plan for that in the new year?
Yes, there are 2 things to that. We are trying to work on more recruitment of good brains and good hands into Nigeria Police Force. Mark my words, that era has gone that will recruit those that will force on us to come and police Nigeria for us. No, policing is a very serious business. Security business is a very serious business that we don't want to just have those that be giving us problems. We want to have good brains and good hands. Now, the federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, has increased the number of recruitment intakes to the Nigerian Police Force. Initially, it was 10,000, but now we are going to be recruiting 30,000 recruits into the Nigerian Police Force. And now we are having a joint recruitment board headed by the Police Service Commission under the chairmanship of Dr. Solomon Arase, the former Inspector General of Police. So we have a joint board now, comprises many agencies, including Federal Character Commission, to see how we're going to have good recruitment process. And then, on the other hand, is the issue of the use of ICT. You agree with me that globally now, you can't police anywhere without the use of technology. And that is why the federal government is key to this. The IGP has submitted certain proposals to make sure we acquire some of these state-of-the-art equipment to help us. As the equipment to help us. Okay. We are working with all ministry department agencies to see how we're going to improve on this. We have upgraded our platforms, intelligence platform. We are having more forensic laboratories in Nigeria. Right. We're having more of our vehicles to be well stationed, well equipped with cameras. Even our choppers. The federal government is working on how to get more choppers for police to patrol and give area support to our ground troops. So with all these ideas, all these methods, all these projections into having our own modern policing, our own people-friendly policing structure in Nigeria, I think these are new ideas and innovations from the IGP.
We're counting on them, and we're looking forward to better performance in the new year. Force Public Relations Officer ACP Muyiwa Adejobi, thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Thank you, Nivemi. Thank you, Nigerians. We wish you a very blissful festive period for Christmas and the forthcoming New Year. God bless Nigeria. God bless all of us. Thank you.
And that's our show today, everyone. Thanks for being a part of it. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.